Hey everyone, welcome back to Rewind by Affinity Streaming. I am Contrell, joined as always by Charlie. How are you, Charlie?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Great, amazing. All right,
Amazing. That's good.
yeah. Today's movie is called The Warriors, 1979, 1 hour 33 minutes, rated R, and spoilers are ahead. But before we get started, we ask that you guys give us a like, subscribe, follow on all of our social platforms. We are at Affinity Streaming Podcast, and we can be found on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. All right. Uh, the Warriors, Charlie, first watch or rewatch for you?
Well, it's a rewatch technically, but I saw it like a long time ago, and it
Okay,
was kind of one of those things I wasn't. I don't know. I don't think I was really fully paying attention. So
nice. Yeah, I saw this movie maybe at 10 years old, and
really,
it fr- it freaked me out. I was so scared. I like couldn't
really,
sleep. I like never wanted to go to New York City because I thought it was just overrun by gangs
yeah.
and face paint, and it just like
Gangs in face paint.
yeah, it just like this movie just scared me. I don't know. I was like just totally afraid of this movie. I don't know,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. And I hate to use the words cinematic masterpiece or greatest movies of all time, but we'll slow down on that. Starring Michael Beck, directed by Walter Hill, based on a novel by Saul Urich for Paramount. 88 critics, 88 audience, 7.0 on Film Affinity. And so, what was your overall like feeling? How did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a
All
fun.
right,
It's a fun time. I
all
don't know.
right.
It's like weird because it's a very simple story. They just have to get home.
You just have to get home. That's right.
And people try to stop them, but I don't know. It's done with so much like I don't know style.
Style and flair, a lot of
Yeah,
flair. I
a
just
lot
thought,
of
yeah,
flair. Everyone's got their thing. Everyone's not necessarily distinct in their like character, but distinct in their look at least. You know.
yeah. I enjoyed the fact that the gangs were very diverse too. Like
Oh
the
my god, yeah.
gangs
But
are,
no, my favorite is the skinhead gang that includes like I don't know. There's at least black guys in this
yeah, there's
skinhead
black
gang.
guys and Asian guys in the
Yeah,
skinhead gang. Yeah,
yeah. It's like, do you guys know what a skinhead is?
it was
Yeah,
very
all
diverse.
the gangs are pretty diverse. It's
The gangs are pretty very
yeah.
diverse. All right, so let's go through this. Cyrus, he's the leader of the Rifts. He wants to meet all the gangs in where they go, the Bronx.
I think so.
Yeah, the Bronx. So the Warriors and their leader are like, all right, we're going, and you bring 9 delegates from each gang.
Yeah.
Did you know the one thing I noticed as it was like the opening sequences, like
Yeah, yeah. I
a
thought the
lot of
opening sequence was great. By
the
the way,
opening sequence was great. Yep.
the music, like just the different trains going by, the lighting is great. You can see all the different gangs kind of getting ready to go to this meeting.
And that was the funny part. You notice the gangs all
Yeah,
paying for the subway. I was
yeah.
like,
I know. That's what I thought was funny. They're just like calmly. He's like paying the money and then like one by one putting the coin in. It's like,
yeah,
why don't you guys just jump over? Is that your
yeah.
thing?
I was like, you're badass New York gangs. Why are you like not? I guess maybe they didn't want to draw attention to themselves going to
They're all like dressed
the.
up.
They have the face paint and the hats, but they didn't want to like
Yeah,
not pay for the subway.
yeah. That was funny to me.
Oh, that cracked me up.
Yeah,
Um,
it's such a small thing too. It's like all of them pay too. It's not like
yeah,
just one group; it's all of them.
I wonder if that was like I don't know. I would like to talk to somebody about what happened there with that decision to like show them paying for the subway and
I
not
guess they
just
just wanted to make it. I guess they were just trying not to draw attention as they went there.
yeah,
Because
I
like
guess
as on the way back, when like they're all just jumping over now. But
yeah,
they're in a hurry. They're trying to like run for their lives basically. So maybe it's just like let's just go there quietly and because they were even talking about like oh should we even like wear our colors or whatever
yeah.
because like maybe they're just trying to like keep it
Keep it low
quiet.
key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it low key and just make their way there.
So Cyrus gives his awesome speech.
Yeah, I thought it was. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Like he was. So they're talking about him. Like, oh, do you know anything about him? Like talking about like he's like very mysterious. He's almost like magic, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's giving his speech like he's like a prophet. He's even like dressed like one. He's like the Messiah, and he's gonna bring them all together. You know, we can take the Holy Land. You know,
Yeah.
basically.
And he
So I thought that
gave
was,
an iconic speech with the
yeah.
"Can you dig it?"
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
So
We have more, right? Can you dig it?
yeah.
And he's like basically waiting for the amens, you know?
Yeah. I like that he called them suckers first. He was like, "Hey, suckers," and then
Yeah.
he gave his speech. But right away we know that James Remar is going to be a problem. It was a bad choice to bring him along. He played Ajax.
Yeah.
He was the mouthy one.
Yeah.
And he's been in a lot of stuff. If you recognize him, he was Dexter's dad, most famously, I believe.
Ah,
If you've
okay.
watched
I did not
Dexter,
recognize him. I couldn't
he was
place
in
him.
Black Lightning. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Ah, okay.
I believe he was in Oppenheimer. We just watched too.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a small role in Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the people really.
So anyway, they shouldn't have brought him along. They should have picked somebody else. I guess he was the muscle though, so they had to bring him.
Yeah, I guess he was just one of their top guys.
Yeah, he's gonna be trouble. You knew he was gonna be trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway, the gangs all like the idea, but one of the other gangs decides to shoot Cyrus for some reason.
Yeah, dude, what's that villain's name? I
I
can't.
think it was Luther.
Luther?
Luther.
Luther. Oh, come on, really?
His name was Luther. He
He's
was
the
the
leader of
leader.
your gang, and his name is Luther.
Luther, played by David Patrick Kelly. He was the leader of, what was his gang called?
I don't know. What was their theme even? Just
They didn't have.
were
They
they
had
like
black
cop
hats. Though they all had black hats. They looked
I
like.
think they had like a cop thing too. Were they like? Was there a cop themed? I don't
See,
know.
that's what I was wondering. Were they like working with the police? Because the
No.
police showed up at the raid, but
Yeah,
he
no.
was.
That's why I was like, did they tell them? But like,
Yeah.
there's no at the end. There's no sign of that. At the end, it's
Yeah, there's no stuff. But there is. He was talking on the phone to somebody. It's like, yeah, everything's good. Like, who was he talking to? So I feel like.
I think just to his like girlfriend or something. Because the way he talked, it was like you all right, like that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, it was just. That was weird.
I know
Anyway,
it's almost like they had set it up as if he was working with the cops or working with somebody.
yeah, I think he was working with the cops or something.
Yeah, but at the end they threw that away because he just says, "Oh, I just did it for fun," basically.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like. He gives great like crazy vibes. Like his eyes are like always just like completely like wide open.
Yes.
And he's just like, I'm having a good time, you know.
Yeah, he didn't seem too tough though. I think he was only the leader because he had the gun. He didn't seem like a tough guy. He wasn't gonna fight nobody.
Well, he was just fucking nuts.
Yeah, he was nuts.
That's why he's the leader, because he's probably just randomly killed some people.
Yeah. So he shoots Cyrus and then blames the Warriors.
Yeah.
And so the Warriors have to try and get home back to Coney Island.
Yeah. It's a long way.
Long way.
Even by train, it's a long way.
30 miles or 27 miles or something. I think the trailer said 27 miles to home.
Oh, really? You watched the trailer before?
Yeah, I watched the trailer, of course.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch the trailer. Maybe I should have. It would have told me important information.
Now, I watched it after the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to like,
help explain some of the...
To see what the,
Yeah.
So, all hell breaks loose. Everybody's scattering.
Yeah, like you said, the cops show up, like,
the cops show up.
Like, they were kind of weren't they getting in position before?
Yeah, they were getting set up. That's what I'm saying. They were somebody set up.
I know.
But all those gangs could have took out them cops, but...
I know. It was like the surprise Cyrus being shot. It was like so they all were scattering.
Yeah, they could have just blamed the cops too, and not blame the Warriors. But I guess
Well,
because the guy saw him shoot him, the one
maybe
Warrior saw him. That's why they blame the
that was
Warriors.
the point. He saw him, so he decided to blame him.
All right, so they're the Riffs have it sent out through their like radio DJ.
Yeah, dude, the Riffs actually were they diverse? They seemed less diverse. They seemed more like the Black Panthers.
They seem less diverse. They had a couple of people in the background there when they showed up to the beach with their hockey sticks. They had a couple things there.
But they were very like militant looking and like
not to be messed with. Yeah.
I guess that was I guess it was. I liked like visually how you could tell like the gangs and like their position. So like the first like these guys were like super militant. They're like organized and like basically like a military formation. And then the first gang like our warriors run into is the orphans. They look like dorks. They're just like in like jeans and like I think their t-shirts were tucked in too, right?
And they had like just orphans on the back of their shirt. They look dirty and homeless.
Very sad, pathetic.
Yeah,
and they're like, wait, but if there was a big meeting, we would have been invited. And it's like, oh yeah, they were just scared of you. Don't worry. I thought it was funny. Like visually, it was like very obvious, like who was on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Then the next gang they meet, like they're like much more like put together. They have outfits. Their faces are painted and everything.
I feel like if pride didn't kick in, they could have just, you know what? Let's take off the vest and put on some t-shirts and go home.
Yeah.
But pride wouldn't let them not wear their colors through the city, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're a gang, you know?
They're a gang, but whatever. I feel like they could have just like found some stash of laundry somewhere and put on shirts and made it back home.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, there's surprisingly little guns in this movie. I thought the cops would come in shooting and like the gangs really didn't have many guns.
No, they're just beating people.
Just beating people up, yeah. So you talked about the orphans and that's where they run into the girl. Her name was Mercy.
What? That's her name?
Yeah, Mercy.
I didn't get her name either.
I don't think they may not have mentioned it.
No, really.
But I'm just going by the credits. Deborah Van Valkenburg played Mercy.
Okay. She was great.
Yeah, she was pretty good. So they meet Mercy. She decides to tag along because she's, I don't know what, looking for a thrill or something.
Yeah, basically, I don't know why she's with the orphans. They're kind of pathetic. I got the sense that she was like the guy's sister or something like that.
Well, according to Wikipedia, that was a girlfriend. He was the orphan's leader's girlfriend. Yeah. So there you go. No. Yeah, Mercy, the girlfriend of the orphan's leader. So
that's Wikipedia.
She instigates this.
When's the last time that like they watched this movie? everything we see about her character, there's like no way she would be with them.
Yeah, she was all like dressed up coming down the stairs and he was all dirty.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
She really didn't respect him. She's just like pfft.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that we lost the leader right at the beginning of the movie. He got beat up by the Riffs. We don't know if he's alive or dead. Well,
he probably got taken by the cops.
Probably taken by the cops
that line
too.
Where he's like, "Oh, he probably has a nightstick up his ass now."
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh, that was James Remar.
Yeah, he had a bunch of great lines.
Yeah. There's a confrontation with the Turnbull ACs, but that was brief. They just got on the train.
Yeah.
Then someone set the tracks on fire, so they had to get out again, and that's when they ran into the orphans. So Fox, the guy who actually witnessed the killing, he gets thrown onto the train tracks by a cop. So we lose him, and then the rest of the guys are making it back. And then dumb Ajax sees this woman just in the middle of the night, sitting on a bench and thinks, "Oh, that doesn't look suspicious at all."
I know, right?
What a dumbass.
Yeah. Immediately pays
So,
for it.
did
But
they see?
She's an undercover cop, right?
Yeah, I'm
It's a
pretty
little
sure she was an
unclear.
undercover cop.
Why was she just blowing her whistle? It seems a little strange.
Unless, I don't know.
Did she just have...
Maybe she
It was a
didn't
little
have a
confusing.
gun. Maybe she didn't have
Yeah.
her stuff. She was just waiting. You think she'd have a walkie-talkie or something to call the?
Yeah, I know, right? It just
But I
seemed a
guess that'd be
little...
too obvious if she was sitting there and.
That's why the whistle made me think like, oh, is just some lady. I don't know, but
Yeah,
a little unclear. She did have handcuffs.
she did have handcuffs.
And
Yeah,
she did say you're under arrest.
yeah. If she had said like you're under citizen's arrest, yeah, maybe. Anyway, but before that though, they run into the baseball Furies.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about the radio lady.
Yeah, radio lady. She was iconic. That's how they get their message out to the boppers.
Yeah, it's really a great way to like kind of set the story, and also like adds, like we said, like a lot of flair to it.
Yep.
Without just being like, oh yeah, I want them alive. It's like, she has like that nice smooth voice, playing some songs, some fun little one-liners.
And that has been copied in like hundreds of movies.
Yeah.
Can't think of one right now, but it's been copied everywhere.
It was in John Wick 4.
It was in John Wick. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. It was in John Wick. But so the people that gave me nightmares as a child, the baseball Furies.
Yeah.
They just look so intimidating.
Yeah, it's great because like they don't even say anything.
That's right. They just twirl the bats.
And they're just like running along like robotically too.
Yeah, they were pretty fast. They were just like and tall. And like the coming out of the dugout and getting their bats. I just thought it was cool. The whole setup was cool.
Yeah.
They gave me nightmares. That was crazy.
Like the first actual fight too.
Yeah, because they didn't really fight with the orphans. They just blew up the car.
I know
they got away from the
turnbuckles. The orphans were so pathetic. Explosion! They all just like ran away.
So then they all get to three of the members get to Union Square where they have to change trains to get to Coney, and they are convinced by the Lizzies to go to their hideout. It's just so funny. So the guy who was like suspicious of them from the beginning, Rembrandt, played by Marcelo Sanchez, rest in peace. He died at age 28 of AIDS.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was on a show. I used to watch a show called 3-2-1 Contact as a kid on PBS. He was on, it was like early 80s. He was on that show. Anyway, he was suspicious of them from the beginning. And I'm just like, I'm like assuming he's gay because it just, the way they portrayed him.
Oh, I just assumed that's because he's like younger.
He was the young guy and they were trying to protect him.
Yeah, that's what I understood, is that he was young, like younger than any of the others.
Okay. I felt like he was, so just from my perception, I felt like he was gay and he automatically knew that these girls was lesbians, and it was like, they setting us up. It just felt funny because I mean some of them girls was like, were they
lesbians? They were making out with the guys.
Yeah, but like there were girls. The girls were like dancing with each other, and the one girl with like the knife was sitting there. Yeah. So anyway, that was a funny scene to me. But
yeah, and I really liked that scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
I don't think he was supposed to be gay though, because they're making a big deal about. I mean, they kept calling each other faggots.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it was supposed to be gay, but I feel like if that scene was filmed today, that dude would be like, "No, I recognize gay people. These are gay people. We're being set up." I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was like, they were basically, they were called the Lizzies.
The Lizzies, yeah.
Yeah. So I was a little confused when they were making out with the guys. So
yeah, I mean, it was just a setup. They were trying to get a rep, and
I guess.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I thought that was great. That was like a fun the chaos after like oh shit, they're packed.
Yeah.
The chaos after that was pretty great. Like he
Yeah.
like smashes a chair on one of their heads.
They didn't hold back on them girls, man. They were
No, I thought
punching.
that was great.
Yeah.
Dude, they have knives and guns.
He like
why would you
punched the
hold
one
back?
girl and then hit her with the chair. It was great.
Yeah, he's like punching them in the face.
Oh, that was awesome.
And like, yeah, I thought it was great. There was no like, oh, they're girls, we should be. No, it was
Yeah.
just beat the shit out of them and get out.
Yeah, so they escaped that.
Yeah.
And then they finally get to Union Square, and here comes Swan. He's being followed by somebody on roller skates.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about Swan and what is it, Mercy?
Swan and Mercy, yeah.
Maybe like the only character moment in the whole movie
when they're on the train.
Yeah, they're having the they're talking like about like what like they want, what they versus like living in the moment kind of thing. I don't know. It was like really great, and like even though they had kind of like differing views, you could really feel like there's some kind of basic connection between them.
And when the like kids came on the train, like you could see they could say that could have been us in a different.
Yeah, I know.
Things that go different. Yeah,
that was a great scene. Like the comparison between them, and then how they just like stared them in the eyes. And like my favorite thing, it's like a small moment. She's like Mercy's like moving to like fix her hair.
Yeah, and he stops her.
Yeah, he stops it.
Yep.
He's like, no, you're beautiful.
Yeah, that was the one of the greatest scenes in the movie. That was great. The whole.
And it's like it's like almost no characterization, but just those two couple scenes, and it's like that's like all you needed.
Yep. It was awesome. It's like their lifestyles just went two different paths. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. That was great.
Yeah.
So the roller skaters, they
like cracked me up. I've never seen someone look menacing on roller skates.
Yeah, the way he was like going like around down the ramp, like back and forth, that was just like so cool to me. I don't know. He was like he looked like, man, this guy's scary. I thought that was so cool.
I think it's because he's going so slowly too.
Yeah,
like he's just like, yeah, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
He's the only one who has roller skates, I think. The rest
he was the only one that had roller skate.
So wait, question: like, did he outside the bathroom? Did he like carefully take them off and put them aside before going?
No, I think he had them on when he went in the bathroom.
Because I didn't know.
I'll have to check, but I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he still had them on.
Because like I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But the bathroom fight is great.
Great bathroom fight, violent. Yeah, they got they were getting their butts kicked a little bit.
Yeah, but I thought it was great because like the fights have been like escalating. You know, you start with the orphans, and then there's just like they just throw something and it explodes.
They get more violent. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the baseball bats are like smacking each other with them, but it's not. It's only a few guys. And what was next? Oh, the girls in the apartment.
Yep.
Which was like, okay, they're smashing chairs on heads. And then this one, where they're just like throwing each other into walls and shit.
Yeah, breaking glass. Yeah, it was great. It was great. All right, so they finally make it home, and one of the great lines, he's like, "This is what we fought all night to get back to." Like, I just thought that was great.
Yeah. And again, like this tiny little character moment where it's like we could just maybe I'll just leave, and it's like, oh, I like traveling.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where have you traveled? Nowhere, but I know I'll like it. It's great. You know?
Yep. And of course, once they get home, Luther and his gang shows up there, waiting for him in their beat up car.
See, okay, hold on. Like Luther feels like the name for like Luther and Cyrus names feel like they should be switched.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like Luther sounds more like the great guy who's going to bring everyone together, and Cyrus sounds like a little shit.
Yeah.
Like when his face says Cyrus to me, not Luther.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to the writers about that.
Nah. But anyway, he shows up with his amazing line.
Amazing line with the beer bottle's clacking.
Warriors, come out to play. Warriors, come out to play.
Click, click.
Well, I think they're like Coke bottles, aren't they?
I thought it was like a Bud Light or beer bottle or something. Whatever. I don't know. But that was great.
Yeah.
And then they all meet on the beach, and I I love when the Riffs show up. They just show up like badass, like
Yeah.
on the beach and
Yeah.
take
Guy
care of
throws
business.
the knife.
Yeah. So I throws the knife at him. Pretty good.
Yeah.
That shot.
then-
Somebody should have been shot. That I don't know. That gun fired.
Yeah, and he didn't. He was right there. It's
Yeah.
not like he fired and then his arm went up. Not
Yeah. Somebody should have got hit there.
maybe they were like changing the story a bit. I don't know. Like maybe
I
he was
know.
supposed to be working with the cops. Maybe someone was supposed to get shot, and they're just changing it a bit at the end. Like I don't know.
All right, you should we should read the book then. Maybe see what.
Next episode where we talk about the book.
Yeah, there's supposedly a comic book sequel out there somewhere called The Warriors Jailbreak. So I'm gonna try and track that down.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
read it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like that was because like during the movie they kept having these like little like comic book like intermediate parts, like the beginning, and then like they would change from one group to another, and they'd have like those little like comic book pages. I was like kind of curious like why they made that choice.
Yeah.
Because like it came from a book, not like a
graphic novel. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also a Warriors video game that I had at one point, but I cannot find it now. It was for PlayStation 2. But I can't find it. Anyway, great movie. I loved it. I highly recommend it to anyone that wants to see it. The budget was only $4 million. It made $22 million.
Wow. Is $4 million? Well, was $4 million a lot for then, or what?
I don't know. That's a good question. For 1979?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It seems like it would take. Well, I guess it depends on what kind of permits you needed then. Because did they just go out at midnight and start filming? Because like.
Yeah, it just seems like. It says some of the interiors were done at a studio, so.
Okay.
But they did. They filmed in Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens, so.
Man. And like I think most of those like actors are like were just random people.
Yeah, I don't think they did much.
I don't think
except for James Remar, of course, he did a lot.
But after, not before, right?
Yeah, after.
Yeah, so like there was no big star to like waste money on. Just a bunch of small time actors giving it their all, you know. I think that's what gives it some of those charm too, you know. It's like it doesn't feel like they're acting so much; it just feels like they're doing their thing. I don't know, in their whatever weird world they live in.
And I feel like also the reason I was so afraid because at the time, like opening weekend, gangs were going to see the movie and like violence was breaking out in movie theaters. Yeah. So, yeah, like I guess a couple in California, people got killed, and someone in Boston there was a big brawl and vandalism.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, apparently the movie was very popular with street gangs, so they would all go see the movie, and then the rival gang would be in the theater, and there you go.
Oh, it's kind of funny. I didn't see this as a movie that gangs would actually watch, but I guess
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe some of the actual personal stuff really spoke to them about like wanting more and not being able to, or that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, at one point they had to stop advertising it because they didn't want people going to see it. Man, that's crazy. And oh wow. Anyway, I'm just reading that Roger Ebert said it wasn't realistic. I'm like, how does he know what gang life in New York is like? But
well, I mean, I know they don't dress up. In,
yeah, you know, they're just
like outfits. I know the skinhead gang doesn't drive on a bus with like whites and blacks sitting together.
Yeah. So the comic book is called The Warriors Jailbreak. It takes place several months after the events in the film and involves the gang's attempt to break Ajax from prison.
Oh, why would you break him out?
Oh.
He did save that guy's life.
Joe and Anthony Russo announced that they were working with Paramount and Hulu for a reimagined Warriors TV series. But that was in 2016, so I guess it is not coming out.
That's good. It's fine. Just let it lie.
And there's a Warriors Come Out to Play board game published by Funko in 2022.
Come out to play.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right. Cool. Anything else you want to add about this movie, Charlie, before we head on out?
Yeah, we didn't. When they're at that big meeting, we didn't talk about it, but you can see like all the different types of gangs. There's like, I mean, a list of some that I saw. There's like a gymnastics gang. They're all in, like big, like,
And then
purple outfits,
leotards, yeah.
leotards, yeah. There's like a farmer gang. It looked like they were in like overalls and they had like little like farmer hats or something.
You know, was that the Asian gang?
Yeah, there was just one there. They were just Asian, I guess. It's just like, oh, come on, guys, seriously. There's the mime gang.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Do they like make like boxes around?
Were those the guys with the like top hats on?
No,
There was another gang with top
like,
hats
their faces
too.
painted white.
Yeah.
Like, the red.
Yeah, there was another gang that had like all top hats too. So I don't know.
Yeah, just so many gangs, so many random things, like anything you can think of.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. I just enjoyed this movie on so many levels. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for coming on this Warriors journey with us. One of my favorite films of all time. We don't know what we're doing next week, but if you have any suggestions, please let us know. We thank you for the suggestions that you have sent in, so we appreciate it, and we will see you next time. For Charlie, I'm Contrell. Thanks a lot. Rewind by Affinity Streaming Podcast. Thanks.